Optional, and if you'd like to be seated in an area where others are also wearing a mask, this section over to your right, my left, is reserved for people wearing masks. You can use the QR codes at either entrance or in the pews to pull up the order of service on your phone, or take one of the large print copies available at either entrance. Our service is being recorded today and will be available on YouTube later. If you'd like to have a joy or concern shared with the congregation today during our meditation and prayer, we invite you to fill out a card anytime before our meditation and hymn on the table to your right with the candles and next to Teddy. You may also light a silent candle of joy or concern at any time during our worship service, or use the space in the far back corner for private reflection during the service. People of all ages are welcome to move about in the sanctuary as they need to, or to make themselves comfortable in the cozy zone in the front of the first pew. Today is a very special Children's Sunday service, and children are invited to be with us during the whole service. Our child care provider, Shay, is also available to be with nursery-age children in the nursery located in the parish hall. Many thanks to Deanna Wong, who is our camera point person, and to Jennifer Bottomley, who is our Zoom usher. If you're new to Theodore Parker Church or visiting today, we'd love to stay in touch. You're invited to fill out a connection card, which will give you an opportunity to sign up for our weekly updates and help us welcome you. A link to the connection card will be in the chat, as well as our contact information. For those joining us here in the sanctuary, encouraged to fill in the contact card you'll find in the pews within the welcome brochure. We'd like to take a moment to greet one another. For those of you on Zoom, putting your video on for this time helps us connect. Diana, could you please put us in gallery view so we can see our off-site congregation? Let's give each other a big wave. Sanctuary folks, the camera is onto the clock in the back. As we continue to greet each other, if online, you may post a hello in the chat. If you are physically in the sanctuary, we invite you to greet one another and say good morning, and please ask for consent before offering a hug or a handshake. Please greet one another.
Good morning. My name is Rose, and I have the honor of serving as this congregation's religious educator, meaning that most Sundays I get to work directly with the children of this congregation, learning and growing in the magical space that is Children's Chapel. This week, we're bringing some of the experience of Children's Chapel to all of you, sharing some of what we've been up to together all year, and honoring the transitions that the children of this congregation are experiencing as we near the end of this school year and our church year. I'm so excited to share this Children's Sunday service with all of you. As we open worship today with words from Sophia Lyon-Fahs, an important Unitarian theologian and religious educator who lived from 1876 to 1978. We owe much of our contemporary approach to religious education in UU congregations to her thinking and innovations. Here are her words. Many of the past generation and many of today have found three abiding values in prayer: the quiet meditation on life, the reaching out towards the universal and the infinite, and the courageous facing of one's profoundest wishes. Let parents sense and share with their children the glory and mystery of everyday things. Let them look with sympathy upon humanity's age-long dilemmas. Let no questions be taboo. The next generation can ill afford to have the deeper values deleted from the book of life. Please rise and body your spirit and join us for our opening hymn, number 361, Enter, Rejoice, and Come In. The lyrics will be on your screen.
Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your hearts to the song. Open your hearts to the song. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your hearts, everyone. Open your hearts, everyone. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Don't be afraid of some change. Don't be afraid of some change. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in.
This morning, we're going to share with you all the chalice lighting that we use in Children's Chapel. I'm going to invite up any kids, at least these two I know want to help. Anyone else who wants to help, come up, light our chalice, and also we'll show you all. We have some special hand motions that we do with our chalice lighting. So the words will be up on your screen. Please join us and follow along with the hand motions. How about you all light the flame and then come up and we'll do the hand motions. Okay, now we'll say the words. Ready? We light this chalice for the warmth of love, the light of truth, and the energy of action. Thank you all. Okay, everyone, this is now when I need some help holding up that poster. Okay, I'm gonna transition over here. So most weeks, I come up here and share a story with you all, and then we sing our children's benediction, and along with an adult volunteer, I go off with the kids to Children's Chapel next door. So I imagine much of what we do over there may feel like a mystery to you all who don't have young children. This morning for our story, I'm going to be sharing some of what we've done together this year to bring you all into the learning and exploration that we've been doing. The first thing I want to say is that it's really intentional on my part that we call our all-ages religious education programming Children's Chapel. Yes, what we do together is more of a class than a worship service, but it's still church. Whether our children are in worship for multi-generational service like today, or they're in Children's Chapel, this is church for them. Worship for adults is an aspect and experience of faith formation, and Children's Chapel is faith formation for our kids in a way that meets them in the specific life stage they're currently in. So all year, we have been learning about many of the same things in Children's Chapel as the adults have been learning about and exploring in worship. In particular, what this poster is showing you all is that this year we spent much of the year learning about our new Unitarian Universalist values. You all want to point them out: interdependence, equity, transformation, pluralism, generosity, justice, and love. Amazing. We made this poster together towards the beginning of the year and have been referencing it as we moved through each of the values as our monthly themes. This poster also shows some evidence of one adventure we all had together this year. There was a flood in the basement. We actually had 2 floods in our basement this year, but the first one went up as high. Do you want to show? There's water damage on the poster. That's what I'm showing you all. Yeah, hopefully you can see it. But thankfully, it didn't wreck all of our artwork or our spirits. And thank you to our remarkable property committee for all you did in response to those building crises. Okay, next, we can put the poster down if you want. I have just a few photos to share. They'll be up on your screen if you all want to be able to see them over there. Just a few photos to share of things we did together in Children's Chapel. Besides learning about our values, we also spent time honoring important holidays and preparing for community-wide events. Among other things, we built an ancestor altar on All Souls Day. And the next slide, yep, that's us preparing for our winter solstice pageant. We did just one rehearsal the week before. And then the next slide after that, yeah, that is us. We spent at least a week preparing for Reverend Heather's installation service and our children's charge message and the gift that we put together for her. We had a lot of help this year to make Children's Chapel possible. 10 adults from this congregation volunteered to help throughout the year. Many thanks to Pat Hamilton for being our superstar Children's Chapel volunteer, as well as Susan Karen, Mary and Matt Harmon, Anne Marie Thomas, Johanna Littlewood, Brandy and Molly Hopkins, and Lori Sutherland for all being wonderful volunteers, and to Joel Neiditz for leading us in a special lesson about Passover just a few weeks ago. Yay. As we learn and grow together in every aspect of our community life, we have learned to grow together in Children's Chapel this year. I'm so grateful to everyone who's made these experiences possible. And most of all, to our children, our wonderful children whose kindness, energy, creativity, and curiosity makes leading Children's Chapel a delight every week. I think it might be time to. I'm going to invite everyone who's up here to take a seat in a calm way. Incredible. And I'm going to invite all of you into a space of meditation and prayer. Ready for that? You can light a candle, absolutely. Okay, but calmly. As we enter our meditation and prayer time, I invite you to be in this moment, here and now. Feel the earth's gentle gravity holding you. Take a few nurturing breaths. Give yourself over to this time of stillness. If you are here in the sanctuary and would like to include a joy or concern this morning, you can fill out a prayer card during our centering hymn. And if you are joining on Zoom and wish to share a joy or concern, please type that into the chat now. I now invite you to remain seated and join in singing our centering hymn, number 1051, We Are.
For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. We are our grandmother's prayers, and we are our grandfather's dreamings. We are the breath of our ancestors. We are the Spirit of God. We are mothers of children and fathers of time. We are daughters of dust and the sons of great visions. We're fathers of mercy and brothers of love. We are lovers of life and the builders of nations. We're seekers of truth and keepers of faith. We are makers of peace and the wisdom of ages. We are our grandmother's prayers, and we are our grandfather's dreamings. We are the breath of our ancestors. We are the Spirit of God. We are mothers of courage. We are just born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are.
Our joys and concerns this morning include a joy from Daphne. Today is her grandma's 59th birthday. And a sorrow from her mom, Allison, for the family of David Silverman, who passed away recently from rare cancer in his 40s. It's a joy from Kevin, Claudia Murray, a young adult who grew up in TPC, defied all odds by graduating from UMass Amherst on May 19th. And this is a sorrow from Ruth. She writes, "My heart is filled with hope for my dear friend, Cindy Marshall, as she undergoes cancer surgery on Tuesday." From Allison, a joy. She writes, "My mom happily celebrated her 93rd birthday this week." For all of these joys and concerns and those that remain unspoken in the sanctuary of our hearts, I'll light one final candle. Please join me in a space of prayer and meditation. Dear sacred mystery, be with us now as we are with each other. Be with us in our growing and our learning. Be with us in our silliness and in our tears. Sacred mystery, as we honor the young lives among us this morning, may we know that we do not have to abandon our grief, our despair, to also allow room for hope, for promise and possibility. May we know that in our being together, in our holding all that there is to hold, we honor our love for life. We honor the love that we know as the center of all being. May it be so, and amen. Together we rest into several moments of shared silence, followed by our musical meditation.
Today's reading is by the American author Gary Kowalski. Children widen the circle of our being in ways that are limitless. Children widen the circle of our being in ways that are limitless. Every baby that's born connects us to our history, our own parents, grandparents, and unknown forebears who brought new life to the world in each successive generation. Every baby that's born links us to the future, to a world yet to come that belongs to our descendants, and we hold in trust for our posterity whom we will never know. Each child connects us to nature, to the innocence and exuberance of a world always hatching newborns, kittens and pups and lambs and babes. Each child reminds us of the kinship we share with the people of other lands, places who love their young as purely and tenderly as we do. Each child connects us to the universe, to the holy mysteries of birth and death and becoming, from which we all emerge. Children widen the circle of our being in ways that are limitless. So ends the reading. Generosity is a spiritual practice in our Unitarian Universalist congregations. This month, our theme of renewal honors our need for change and restoration. As we give, we renew our commitments to one another and to the growing, changing life of this congregation. We give to remember that we are part of something bigger than ourselves, part of a continuum, an ever-widening circle of being. We give with gratitude for all we have been given, and with the faith that together we have more than enough. Links to donate will be in the chat, or you can take a moment to write out a check and send it to the church. Ushers will be coming around the sanctuary to collect an offering from those in the pews who wish to donate as you are able. As Yukiko shares our offertory music, an offering to sustain this congregation of memory and hope will be gratefully received.
Now we come to the part of our service that I am most excited to share, and I think some of us have been antsy to get to. A ritual of transition, honoring and acknowledging the transition between grades that the children of our community are approaching. Marking this transition is just one way of celebrating all of the ways our children are growing all the time. The leap between one school year and the next is not necessarily a bigger leap than they took last week or a few months ago, but this is a time shared in our culture as a marking point of change. And since the cycle of our church year and the break we take during the summer map so closely onto the school year, it gives us a unique opportunity to honor this transition point. We know that when we come back together in the fall, we will see our children changed, bigger and different, and in a new, unique phase of their being that we adults can't help but marvel at. In this community, we mark big changes with ritual because it helps us to make sense of change, to remember that even if its pace scares us, we know that change and growth are holy things. We know that each transition our children go through is sacred, and it is our privilege to honor, witness, and celebrate them in these moments. In this community, we are all held in love through our changes. I'm going to invite any kids who aren't already up in our chancel to come up and stand on this side. And those who are here, I'd love the rope to be straightened out a little bit. To stand on that side? Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. And Pat, do you mind coming to this side and helping to receive them? Wonderful. Okay. So please stay on that side for now. Maybe step back a little bit if you can. A little bit. I have you grouped into 3 groups this morning. There are those who are going into preschool, which I'm so excited to share and honor. those going into second or third grade, and then those going into fifth grade. We have 3 groups. So I'm going to call each of you up by name and invite you to jump over the rope in a specific moment, so not until I say. As you jump, the congregation and I will receive you by saying these words: "We hold you in our love as you grow." Can we practice that a minute? We hold you in our love as you grow. Amazing. On the other side of the rope, I have a special gift for everyone who's jumping with meaning for the period of change in which you are in. Okay, I would like to start with 2 of our youngest members, Daphne and Camille. Just so many jumps, so many jumps. Okay, so both Daphne and Camille will be going into their 2nd years of preschool. Woo. Daphne and Camille. Yay! Yay. I would love you to wait up here so I can give you your gift. You are continuing your first experience of school, making friends and experiencing life outside of your home. Next year, you guys will no longer be toddlers. What? Our gift for you in this time is sidewalk chalk. So, for all that you will continue to create and bring newly alive this year. I was going to say jump now. We've already had some jumping. Do you all want to do one more jump? They don't get to skip up 2 grades with the extra jumps, but one more jump or one more run. Yay! And let's receive them. We hold you in our love as you grow. Wonderful. Okay, our second group, I think, is very ready to go. We have Eleanor, who will be starting 2nd grade in the fall. Ooh. And Ave, who will be starting 3rd grade. Whoa. You are both changing and learning so many new things. In your new grades, you will learn amazing stories about the world, Earth, who you are, how to be together. You will get the chance to form what you believe about the world. You will be shaped, and you will shape those around you. Our gift for you 2 is Silly Putty. To remember to bend and reform as you learn, and that you are in control of your unique form. Okay, we're picking out our colors. Once we pick out our colors, can I invite you all to jump over the rope again so we can receive you? Or stomp, anything works. We hold you in our love as you grow. Amazing. Okay, our next group is going into 5th grade. Oh my goodness. Woo! Okay, Nola and Rudy, you are starting 5th grade this coming fall. This is a big transition. In the coming year, you will be faced with many questions, such as, who am I? Where do I fit in? Who do I belong with? As Unitarian Universalists, we believe very much in the inherent worth and dignity of each person. We want you to hold on to your own worth and dignity in the days to come, even if you encounter a time when you feel a little lost or a little down. We hold you as you take time to be with yourself, discover who you are, and stay true to your best self. Our gift for you is a yo-yo to remind you that you are held in love and can always bounce up from being down. Ready? Now jump. We hold you in our love as you grow. all of our children, you have grown beyond who you once were. With each new day and new experience, you will learn more about yourself, your world, and your faith. Your past will serve you well on this journey. We send you forth with love, knowing you will always have a home in this community. Let's give them all one big round of applause. And you all may be seated in the pews or in the cozy corner for now. I just have a little bit more to say to the adults about why we're here. Wherever you want to sit is fine, but we're going to sit down for the next part. Just a little bit more to go. Thank you all for sharing and holding this special ritual. The more years that I'm an adult, and I'm almost 30, so it's been a few now, the more striking it is to me how much childhood matters. No matter how old we get, how many years past childhood we live to see, there is something about these formative years that are, well, formative, right? They shape us and shape how we experience life for the rest of our years. This is not to say that childhood is untouchable. Children are full human beings, simply experiencing life in the specific stage they're in. But it is to say that for all of us, for each one of us here, whether we're children or way past it, childhood is a stage that is both particularly vulnerable and particularly powerful. I bring that up because I think that if we had a culture, a society that truly valued life, that really oriented itself towards human flourishing, we would have a culture, a society that centered children. We would have a culture in which the lives, the safety, the needs, hopes, and dreams of children, of their parents and caregivers, were at the center, along with the needs of any among us who are vulnerable. Can you imagine how different that world might be? This would be true for children in Gaza, in El Salvador, each part of our own city. All of our children would be at the center, would be valued and treasured in a way that they aren't now in many of the systems and structures we have. The good news is that here, in this community of faith, we have the power and privilege to create a different world together. Every time we are together, we have the opportunity to live our values with one another, to embody what we believe is good and right simply by how we are together and how we live out the life of our community. Here, we can put children at the center. We can center the needs and hopes and dreams of children, their parents and caregivers, because of the impact it has on these specific, sacred, unique children, and because it's a way of proclaiming to the world at large that we value life, that we value human flourishing, that for all of us, love is at the center. These are the values that I seek to bring to our religious education program, and that I hope are at the center of our whole faith community. Children are full human beings, not more or less human than any of us at any other stage of life. And at this stage, they are both particularly vulnerable and particularly powerful. By honoring that, by trusting that we have as much to learn from them as they do from us, And by our choice of being in community with one another, our lives are bound up together. Together, we are creating a small piece of the world we wish to see. May it be so. Please rise and body your spirit and join me for our closing hymn, number 1064, Blue Boat Home.
Though below me I feel no motion, standing on these mountains and plains, far away from the rolling ocean, still my dry land heart can say, I've been sailing all my life now, never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. Sun, my sail, and moon, my rudder, as I ply the starry sea, leaning over the edge in wonder, casting questions into the deep, drifting here with my ship's companions, all we kindred pilgrim souls, making our way by the lights of the heavens in our beautiful blue boat home. I give thanks to the waves upholding me, hail the great winds urging me on, greet the infinite sea before me, sing the sky my sailor's song. I was born upon the fathoms, never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home.
I just have a few announcements and invitations for you all before we close our service. Please join us. I believe there will be a short coffee hour and breakout rooms on Zoom at 11:45 today. The reason why it's short, 11:45 today, we'll have a budget preview meeting. So in preparation for our annual meeting next week, that budget preview meeting will be right here in the sanctuary, and for those on Zoom, it's the same Zoom link as for worship. So you can stay or rejoin on the same link, whichever works for you. Our annual meeting is next week, Sunday, June 9th, also at 11:45 here in the sanctuary and on Zoom. And on June 29th, the end of the month, TPC will be participating in the 11th annual celebration of grassroots organizing at First Parish, Dorchester. Please talk to Dave Harrington or Kevin Murray for details. For our closing words, I'd like to extinguish our chalice, which is another one of our rituals in Children's Chapel. Anyone who wants to come up and blow out our flame, as per usual, I'm going to ask you to wait until we've said the words to blow it out. This part can be a little tricky. May the light from this chalice and the warmth of our community stay in our hearts until we meet again. Thank you.